Yippee! Okay. 1 minute. Almost done. Okay. I think everything's ready. Okay, let me know if the music's good. Hi, my loves! I might start playing a game while I chat, because I am very bad at sitting still. Also, warning misophonia for eating noises, because I'm going to be partially eating. What was I going to say? Yep. Hi, my loves. It's been so long. It feels like forever. It's been at least 10 days. When was the last time I streamed? Like, I don't know, like at least over 2 weeks. I missed you guys so much. Might have been over a month. So I've been very busy. What should we play if I do decide to play something while we talk? Trying to think of something that would be a good fidget game. What was I thinking of? Okay. Let me see if I still have a game. Okay. I don't think I still have Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, I don't. Okay. So then we'll just be chatting, my loves. We also close something so it lags less. Sorry, I would have done the stream earlier, but I was making myself some breakfast. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's fine. We can just talk and I'll fidget in other ways. Okay, what was I going to say? So what should I start off with? I don't know if I told you guys about the cosplay convention. Let me try to double check. Last stream I did was this one. Was the Laces game one? I think that was before. Yeah, that was before, probably. Okay, so let's probably start off with that. So I went to an anime convention, Anime Midwest, which I love. What was I going to say? Probably gonna get distracted a lot here. Let me find something solid to figure it. Okay. So what was I gonna say? Sorry, I get so hyper sometimes. I just like blah, 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 words will not form. So I went to Anime Midwest. I was cosplaying Minori from More Jump. Also, I'll probably, excuse me, be pulling up pictures of different stuff to show you. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, my cousins, as I've mentioned before, agreed to come with me and perform with me. I've performed in the cosplay contest, multiple times before, but, I do performance and do idol dances, but I had never won because, what's the word? And of course there's other reasons than this, I'm not discrediting the other teams at all, but when there's a team of 5 people, and then 1 girl, pretty hard to win. And of course they still deserve to win, I'm not at all saying that, but it kind of felt unfair because like I kept showing up to the conventions and trying my hardest, but it felt like no matter how hard I tried, if I was against a group of 5 people, then yeah, 1v5 you're gonna lose. So what was I gonna say? I at Christmas was talking about this, and no, I have three cousins. The important one to the story. I was just gonna say the important one. That sounds bad. Sorry, cousins. The important one to the story is around 30 years old. She's very sweet, very big sister like. So I was talking about this, and her husband was next to me, and no, I don't know her husband too well. Like, I know he's nice and sweet and stuff, but I don't know him well. He doesn't know me well. It's not like we're close or anything. Um, so I'm talking about, yeah, like I keep competing and trying my hardest and training for months, but I just keep losing to groups. And I just like, and he was like, oh, like, you don't have anybody who'll join you? And I was like, no, like I asked my friends, but you know, either they have stage fright or they just don't want to do it. I don't have any friends who want to join me, or at least any friends that are nearby. Fuck. Hi, Bird. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm just yapping. Welcome. What was I gonna say? Or at least I don't have any friends here. Like, you know, online friends might, but it doesn't really matter because it's not like my friends can fly out just for a cosplay contest. What are you talking about? I'm talking about a cosplay convention I went to right now, but I will be talking about, I traveled around Europe to 4 different countries. Yippee! What was I gonna say? I went to Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, and Hungary. So I was, like, talking with my cousin's husband, who's, like, 30 years old, we're not close, at, Christmas dinner about, like, how I keep competing, but since it's, like, a group of 5 versus me, I keep losing no matter how hard I try. And so he's like, none of your friends will join you? And I'm like, no, I love my friends, but they don't want to join me. And so he says, I'll join you. I'm like, okay, you've had a drink or two, sure you'll join me. Yeah, sure, you know, like, thanks, dude, but, you know, I didn't actually believe him. Am I too tiny? Wait, let me fix that real quick. You guys don't have to see all of my room. Okay. And then let me... Meh, it's fine. There we go. Okay, anyways, I was like, yeah, sure, you've had a few drinks, but he was like, no, I'll join you. And I was like, you know, like, if you join me, you're gonna have to, like, dress up, right? And he was like, yeah. And I at first was just having fun with the idea, but I was like, you know, like, you'd have to, like, practice, like, multiple times, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. And I was like, you'd have to, like, dress up in full cosplay and wear a wig. And he was like, yeah, I'm down. I just was not phased at all. And I was like, you know, you might have to dress as a girl and in a dress, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. And I was in shock, and even more so, like, I was like, thank you so much. If you're serious, thank you so much. So, I pull up the video and start to show him, and he's like, oh, there's like 5 members of this group, aren't there? And I was like, yeah, like, most of the groups have 5 members, as far as I remember. And, he was like, oh, well, then we need 3 more members. And I was like, are you sure? Like, that was hard enough to get you, dude. I don't know if we can get 3 more. He just casually got 3 more members. He had my cousin join us, who's 30, does not watch anime at all, but was happy to join. He had his brother and his brother's wife join us, and together we were more jump. What was I gonna say? So, we had practices like every what's it called? Every couple of weeks, and then it slowly got to like every once a week. And he was serious, dude. Especially he was like, we're gonna win this. Like, we're gonna try our best to win this. Like, which I did not expect at all. But he, like, seriously put the practice in, was willing to put, and especially I was, like, showing him the different groups, and I was like, okay, well, like, you know, what's it called? What's the group? I'm too hyper. Like not Colorful Stage, oh my god. Wonderland X Showtime has, 2 boys and, 2 girls, so what was I gonna say? Like, you could be one of the boys, and he was like, well, which is your favorite group? And I was like, well, not my favorite group, but my favorite song I've always wanted to do was Newly Edgy Idols by More Jump. And he was like, then we'll do that one. And I was like, are you sure? Like, you're gonna have to dress up in a dress and pretend to be a girl. And he was like, I'm down. Which I was like, hell yeah, brother, thank you. So he was super duper cool about it. When we went to the cosplay convention, it was super fun. I went with my dad at first. Artist Alley is so cool and stuff. What was I gonna say? I met a Jesus cosplayer, which was interesting. I took a picture with them. They were super chill and hippie like, just like Jesus would be, I guess. What else? So when the cosplay convention comes around, we did our very best, and, what was I gonna say? I'm gonna try not to give too many specific details because I don't want to at all have this be towards the contestants I'm talking about. What was I gonna say? So, when we competed, I would say we did really good. We were very nervous because there was this group that was, cosplaying like one of those animes like Love Live, and oh my god, Love Live cosplayers are committed. Like, Jesus Christ. So I was very nervous about that. But, we tried our best, and they also had, like, what's it called? Not glow sticks. They had, like, lights all over them and stuff. Anyways, I was completely fine with not winning because, like, my family was here for me, and that meant more than anything. Like, my cousin's husband barely even knew me at the time, but just was willing to completely change his busy schedule just because he saw, like, a young girl alone, not able to fully compete in her interest, and he was happy to join. Um, he's a sweetheart, and I love him so much. So we tried our best and competed and stuff. Now, the people who won, I definitely think they deserved it, but I have a critique about the judges. So there are three different types of competition. There is performance, there's craftsmanship, and then there's best in show, which is for performance and craftsmanship. Performance is, of course, you perform anything you want. Craftsmanship is, of course, like, you, make the costume yourself. I say, of course, not everyone knows that. Craftsmanship is like you make the costume yourself, and they're judging you based on how well you made the costume. And then best in show, you can win, I'm pretty sure, if you've done both. Remember, these are different categories. The judges, this time, all picked who won based on their craftsmanship. So, like, for craftsmanship, the person slayed. I was so proud of them. I had talked to them. They were very sweet. For best in show, it made sense. But, like, for performance, the person who won because of their craftsmanship. Like, their performance was cool, and their idea was very creative, but, like, when the judges were explaining why they won, they were, like, entirely talking about their costume and the idea for the costume and how they made the costume. It's like, bestie, that's craftsmanship. Like, and especially, like, they didn't say much about their performance, because honestly, like, I loved what they did, but their performance wasn't that groundbreaking. Not saying, like, compared to mine, not saying I should have won. Honestly, I think the Love Live people should have won. Like, there were other performers, I think, that should have won. But, like, if there's a whole part of the competition meant for sewing, then for the performance part of it, why are we choosing to, what's the word? Why are we choosing someone based off of their sewing? So that heavily annoyed me. It didn't annoy me at the time because my condition was acting up, so I was extremely out of it. I was just kind of laying on the floor. But it annoyed me more, especially the best in show also won because of their craftsmanship, which is partially something that should happen. But, like, even, like, all of the, like, the judges get to pick their, like, honorary favorite. Even the honorary favorites were all because of craftsmanship. And, like, the judges all had lots of experience in sewing and stuff, and I get that, but if you're not gonna judge based off performance, why are you choosing to judge something with performance? So that bothered me, personally, but the people who won were very great, so slay. What was I gonna say? It was very, very, very fun. What else? I tried Japanese snacks there, and they were very, very good. Okay, now onto my trip. This was literally the weekend before my trip, so, like, a couple days before. Then I had to leave. So my trip is with, my school, technically. Basically there's a program with, the two schools in my area, where, you can choose to travel. Know that you, like, have to pay for everything, and also, like, what's the word? They do a different trip every year. Wait, let me quickly drink some water. Um, what was I gonna say? This year they were doing a trip to Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, and Hungary. And I was like, hell yeah. So I'm not gonna give certain details because I don't want to accidentally dox myself. But so what was I gonna say? I knew this trip would be very hard on my EDS, but I wanted to get through it. I wanted to show that I can be independent, especially since I'm going off to college soon. I wanted to show, like, I can do this, I can be independent. So we spent the whole time trying to make sure that I would be able to do it. And my mom multiple times was asking me, like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, this is going to be very hard on you. Like, why do you want to do this? And she was trying to be gentle with it, but she was like, I kind of don't get why you want to do this. And she was like, if it's like to have me proud of you, you don't have to. I'm already proud of you. And I was like, thank you, but I'm going to do this because, like, I wasn't doing it for anyone else's approval. I was doing it to prove it to myself. Something I didn't think about though, what was I gonna say? First of all, I didn't think, why do I want to do this past the independence? Like, I didn't think about it as a trip. I more saw it as like a challenge that I could overcome. Second of all, I didn't think, should I do this? Like, I was so focused on how I could push myself through it, I didn't think, should I do that to myself? There's certain stuff that I can technically push through, but should I? Should I be doing this to my body? Should I be putting myself in this much pain for something that I don't even find fun? Like days before the trip, I was getting, like, physically ill because my body was like, excuse me, please don't do this to me. And I was like, shut up, body, I'm right. When we, what's the word? We got there, went on a bus, went to the airport, and this was supposed to be a trip without parents, but, because of my health issues, my mom came to, where we were going at the same time as us, and was just going to try her best not to see me, and, like, took a different flight and stuff like that, which was very, very sweet of her, and I appreciate very much. What was I going to say? So, we, get on the flight. Now, the thing is, I was not even thinking of the flight. When I was younger, I went to Italy and Spain, respectively. That'd be a interesting trip to go to Italy and Spain at the same time. Anyways, I went to Italy and Spain, and also, like, Portugal. So I was like, I can handle long flights. So fun fact, often with EDS, I always try to educate on EDS because sometimes even doctors say stupid shit, and I'm like, what? Anyways, often with EDS, there will be what's called a trigger, and it's not that it starts the condition, it's that it kind of worsens the condition. As one of my doctors explained it, wait, let me pull up Metabang so I can draw what I mean. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Oh, whoa, oops, what am I doing? Whoa. Okay, sorry. But... Okay, okay. Let me show Metabang for a minute. Okay. Bop. Also, thank you guys so much for being here and listening to me yap. Okay, let me... Whop, so you guys can see. And let me... Okay, good enough. So imagine, if you're just listening, you can just imagine. My drawing's gonna be shit anyways. Imagine there's a bridge. This is the bridge. And imagine every day there are, what's the word? There are cars going over the bridge. Let me draw a little car. Up. Little car. Up. So imagine that like this bridge is already like pretty broken, like cracking apart, like falling apart. There are cracks in it everywhere. This is a broken bridge. The bridge is struggling to stay up, like it's an old ass, mossy ass bridge. This is not the exact wording my doctor used. Yeah, I remember when my neurologist said that I'm an old ass, dusty ass bridge. Anyways, oh lord, hi Buzzkill, I'm so glad to have you here. I'm gonna No, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say I'm gonna kill myself in embarrassment. I'm not going to do that. I should joke about that. Rawr! I'm gonna bash my head in. No, I'm not. That's a joke. Please don't do things like that. Anyways, thank you so much for the redeem, Buzzkill. So imagine cracking apart bridge and cars are going on it every day. We're just gonna copy this car. Whoop. This is often people with EDS, dusty ass bridges. So now imagine while this bridge is already falling apart, a big giant ass truck comes over the bridge that is way too big for it. Here's a giant ass truck. What? Oops. And it's way too big for it. So the truck makes a shit ton more cracks in the bridge. The bridge was already super cracked and trying to get fixed, but constantly needed fixes. That truck, it's not, what's the word? It's not that there weren't cracks in the bridge before, and it's not that the truck, like, scarred the bridge interchangeably. It's that there were already so many cracks, and that truck added so many more that we can, what's the word? It'll be hard to fix those cracks because we're trying to fix the others already. We're too busy fixing the ones we already have, and more keep coming. So all that to say, that's what triggers can be for EDS. So you could already have the condition, and those are the cracks on the bridge, like you're in pain, or you're tired, or you're vomiting, or things like that. Normal EDS already, and then you get what's called a trigger. This could be, certain colds. For me, it was mono. So when I got mono, it was giant fucking bridge that made a bunch of cracks or giant fucking truck that made a bunch of cracks in my bridge. So mono permanently changed my body. I can get rid of my beautiful art painting now. Mono, like, permanently changed my body, and it's not that my body's scarred and can never change, but because my body's already struggling as is and trying to keep up with itself and not doing well, kind of failing, that kind of made it even more struggling, and now it has to also keep up with that. So, I was like, okay, I'll be fine on this flight. I've been on flights before. Also, hi, welcome, Buzzkill. Glad to have you here. How's your day going? I was like, I've been on flights before. I'll be fine. But that was before mono. So the flight was hell. The flight was the worst pain I've ever felt. It was around, the first one was, I think, 10 hours, and then we had, like, an hour and 45-minute flight. We stopped off in Switzerland between the flights. And, like, it was unbearable. The hard part, though, is there's nothing I can really do about it. There's medicine I can take and stuff, but that can only go so far, and with my condition, hospitals don't do shit. I encourage you to go to the hospital otherwise, but for me, they won't do anything. I've gotten before, and quite literally, last time I went, they just sent me home. They tried stuff, barely, but they just sent me home, because with my condition, one, you're more likely to get addicted to pain pills, so they don't wanna, or like opioids, so they don't wanna give you opioids, and two, what's the word? Often my condition's invisible illness, so you can't really see it, and since it's supposed to be in an emergency room, like, you're looking directly at a bullet, and you take the bullet out, and then you patch it up, and they can't really see the issue, there's not much they can do. So I get off the flight, and I don't, to get personal for a minute, I don't cry often, I'm usually too tired to, but I was sobbing. So I, messaged my mom and my dad, and I was like, I have no idea what to do, I cannot do this. And my mom and dad helped me make a plan. And the plan was, if I could get through the flight to Germany, then I would meet my mom there, and my mom would come to my spot at the airport, pick me up, and we would go rest in her Airbnb. So we made that plan, and it's not like I had much of a choice but to get on the plane to Germany, because what am I gonna do? Stay in Switzerland? I can't. So I arrive in Germany, my mom comes and picks me up from the school trip, which has like 20 people and the teachers and stuff, and the plan was she would pick me up, bring me to her Airbnb, I would rest at her Airbnb, then once I felt better, I'd probably go for dinner with the school again that night, and I'd go back to the school trip. I never went back. Um, so at first I was resting with her, and then once I felt better, I started thinking about it and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I going to put myself through so much pain just to prove a point to myself? That's not healthy. Like you gotta listen to your body. So, the school was very nice about it and my mom was shockingly supportive, like so supportive. And so luckily, I got to spend the rest of the trip with her and her friend, which was lovely. I way preferred it that way. I do not like one being herded around like a sheep, which I know is kind of what group trips is, but yeah. And two, like we'd be doing so much. Like even on the flight over, we had to sleep because if you didn't sleep, then no sleep for you. And if you couldn't get sleep on the flight, didn't matter. We were arriving there, it would be 7 or 8 a.m. In the time of the country we were in, Germany. And so we were going to have a full day of activities booked and not get to the hotel till like 10 or 11 p.m. So I could not do that. And in general, we were super busy moving place to place and also like had these conferences we had to attend that were super boring. So I feel like I learned way more just being with my mom and her friend than I would have at the stupid conferences. Um, wait, quick water break? Okay. So we had a lot of fun. I feel like the best part of traveling was speaking to the locals or kind of doing stuff like a local, like just walking to the store and stuff like that. Which, by the way, they say Europe streets are walkable. That is so true. It was lovely. Which was also like what's the word? Like in actuality might be hard on me sometimes because walking is hard for me, but it's not like they don't have cars, you know, it's just more easy to walk, especially in some areas. What was I gonna say? It was very beautiful. In Germany, we went to Berlin, which is a very, very lovely city. I heard from multiple locals that Berlin is like the California of of Germany. Like California is for the United States. So, what's the word? Mine is kind of no offense to California, but like the fakeness or the celebrities or stuff. So, there's a lot of like punk or alternative people in Berlin. What was I gonna say? There's a lot of hipsters and stuff. There's like lots of different kinds of people, which was interesting. But also there's definitely not the typical German attitude, if that makes sense. Not to stereotype Germans, but just like, if you know what I mean, of like Germans being known for being rougher and stuff, that is definitely not the case in Berlin. Berlin in general has a lot less of what's the word? I hate to say a lot less of a German vibe because there still is a good bit of German vibes there. It's not like it's just not Germany, but less of a German vibe than other places there. And also has some more like modern stuff. Oh, also, we knew this when traveling over, but Europe doesn't have air conditioning. Which like half of I don't like saying my fans. Half of my viewers are European, so you're probably watching this and giggling at me, and that's perfectly fine. I don't care. But there was no air conditioning, which was rough, and also because of that, we had to keep the doors and windows open. There are no screens. Just in case you're a European fan, let me find what I mean by a screen, so that you know what I mean. Okay, what's a good picture for this? Okay. Okay. Where is that? I don't know where that is, so we're just gonna wait, that's weird. Okay. Let me find something that's supposed to be on my screen real quick. Where is it? Okay. Let's see if that helps. Oh, I see. Okay. Here we go. And let me. This is kind of scuffed, but we ignore that. You guys can see it like this. Ignore how blurry it is for some reason. Okay, there we go. This is what a screen is. We have these on doors in America and in Africa. What was I gonna say? I don't know where else. I'm pretty sure Canada. So when we had to keep the windows open so it wouldn't get too hot, bugs could fly in, birds could fly in. It felt crazy. What was I gonna say? Like in the USA, we'd never have that. Um, the air conditioning, I can sort of get why they don't have because older buildings and stuff. But like with screens, like even in more modern buildings, there were no screens. Especially like what's the word? Like screens. I'm pretty sure you can install anywhere, like any window. But I could be wrong. I am no expert. Um, anyways, let me quick water break. Quick water break from the yapping. Anyways, Berlin was lovely. After that, we took a flight to Karlovy Vary in Czech Republic. I guess I can move the screen on the window now. What was I gonna say? Taking the train was weird because since I had to pack very, very lightly, which was stupid, I didn't have anything to entertain me except my phone, and in a lot of areas there was no Wi-Fi, so I was so bored on the train. Anyways, I learned I don't like train stations, not compared to plane stations. I'm not compared to airports. I just don't like either. What was I gonna say? I don't like crowded spaces with lots of people and stuff. Um, but the train is lovely. I like the train. So what was I gonna say? And we got to see scenery along the way. The hard part is when we got to Czech, we had to take a different train to get to Karlovy Vary, and nobody spoke English. Which no, I'm not like grr. Like obviously, we're in Czech Republic. You don't go to Spain and say why are they speaking Spanish? But in Berlin, like almost everyone spoke English, and there was at least one person we could find to help. But in this part of the Czech, no English anywhere, and so we were trying to find our train. But the worst part was the signs were really confusing. So there was like, what's it called? Not checkpoint. I'm gamer brained. What's it called? Like station or whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? Word for train platform. There was like platform number 1, platform number 2, platform number 3, platform number 5, which we'll get to that. So we go downstairs though, and so it had told us like go to these ones. So we get downstairs, and the weird part was there was a sign that was pointing to like platform number 1, platform number 2, platform number 3, and it was giving us different areas than the platforms were at. And we went there, and it was giving us different numbers. Also, on the thing saying where our train was, it gave us 2 numbers, and we were like, what the fuck is that? So we were confused and trying to find the platform. We found one dude to help us, kind of. So going back to number 4, where was 4? Where there was platform 1, 2, 3, and 5, and we were like, what? We weren't taking 4, luckily, but oh my god, if we were, I would have probably lost my mind. So we were confused, dazed, and when we got on the train, we just kind of had to hope it was the right train. Otherwise we would be somewhere else in Europe and not really know what to do since we don't speak the language. Yeah, I mean, I learned enough to be polite, but I didn't learn too much. So we luckily got on the right train, and we arrived at Karlovy Vary. Karlovy Vary was very lovely. Something I will warn for my fellow disabled folk about Czech Republic, which is probably true for a lot of places in Europe, but I'm not sure exactly. This was especially in Karlovy Vary. There are a lot of like steep roads and stuff, and steep hills and stuff, and since stuff is very walking focused, that was pretty hard on me. What was I going to say? My grandma was gonna go on this trip at first. I'm glad she did not, because oh my god. Karlovy Vary is a spa region, and so we went to this lovely, lovely spa that was very, very cheap. What was I gonna say? And, each of us got a different thing. I got a, very hot herbal bath, that was supposed to help with my joints. I got a purifying face mask, and at the last minute, I got an Indian head massage. So what's the word? I was the only one who spoke any Czech of the people I was with. My mom and her friend knew how to say hello, ahoy. But other than that, they relied on me. When I was doing the bath, the lady and she spoke like 3 words of English, I spoke like 3 words of Czech, so together we communicated. But we mostly just used like hand signals and stuff, and we like understood each other pretty good. I was surprised because I thought I'd be wearing a bathing suit for the bath. No, I was supposed to undress, but I was actually surprisingly pretty comfy, like, mostly because, this lady's just doing her job. Like, she's not gonna judge a 17-year-old's body or anything like that. It just felt weird, but I was mostly comfy. The Indian head massage was very nice, except the lady kept giggling about my hair. We were giggling together. She wasn't like laughing at me. Cause like imagine trying to give someone a head massage with my hair. It was hard. And the face mask was very nice. Next we went to, what was I gonna say? Next we went to Prague in Czech Republic. We were only there for like an hour or two, not even joking. We were just going to go there and look around a bit till our next train and then go to our next location. So we looked around a bit. What was I gonna say? I got to see horses and carriages and some beautiful churches. I should be showing pictures and stuff. But it'd be hard to switch it from phone and stuff like that. But I will, I have posted pictures if you'd want to see. What was I gonna say? After that, what was I gonna say? We got on the train to the next location. What was I gonna say? Was this between or I don't remember if this was between, but somewhere from Czech Republic to somewhere else, or from Czech Republic to Czech Republic, we met this very nice girl on the train. We had sat down at a table. Wait, me. Music. We'll do this one. Um, Okay, what was I gonna say? We sat down at a table, except my mom's friend had to move into one of the seats just to let people by, and the sweet girl came up, and she was like, oh, sorry, actually, like, I have that seat reserved, and she was like, yeah, that's fine, wait a minute, reserved? And she was like, oh yeah, I have that seat reserved, you can reserve the seats, and we were like, you can reserve the seats? Because it's not like it was like you buy the tickets and it's like, okay, reserve your seat now. Like, it was a whole different place where you had to find it. Like, it didn't make it clear at all. So she was like, yeah, and like showed us how, and we were like, oh shit, and just like really hoped that our seat wasn't reserved. My mom's friend, love her, but she talks a lot, so she was talking a lot with the girl, and the girl was like, oh yeah, blah, blah, like, I'm going to college in September, and, I was like, really? And my mom was like, oh, like, Ryan's going to college in September, and I was like, oh, how old are you? And she's like, oh, I'm 17, and I was like, I'm 17! So I was like, oh, what are you going to college for? And she said, biochemistry. Going for clinical physiology. That's like same field, technically. So we started chatting. Earlier on that day, there was a very pretty girl who I liked for different reasons. And I wanted to get like her socials, but I did not. And so now I was like, you gotta do it now. So, this girl, which I just wanted to be friends with, let me clarify. I asked to, have her Instagram, and now we still talk. She's very sweet and I love her. We kind of teach each other about each other's countries and ask each other any questions we have. Quick water break. Okay, what was I going to say? Austria was very nice. We were not in there for long, for sure. What was I gonna say? In general, around these areas, there were a lot of Thai places and Thai people, interesting enough. Especially in Czech Republic. What was I gonna say? Oh, also, the whole time we took the trains, we didn't get our passport checked once, which was very interesting as an American. Interesting experience. But, what was I gonna say? Like, it makes sense, kind of, but it was surprising. What was I gonna say? So Austria was nice. I wouldn't say anything too much about it. There was a lot of history, which is interesting, but I'm not really a history person. We were in Munich, I'm pretty sure it's called, which was lovely. Next we went to what's it called? Hungary. Now, I was tired by this point. I didn't have my computer, so I couldn't play games, and also like this was a 10-day vacation, which turns out is a bit too long for me, especially when we're so busy. And so I was tired at this point. I didn't learn the language other than hello, and I don't even remember how to say that. And I think I learned thank you for like an hour and then immediately forgot. I was trying to my hardest to be like as polite as possible, you know. What was I going to say? It's something funny. There was an American food place, which was sadly closed down, but was still cool. And they have American pancakes as a dessert. And we had went to a couple different restaurants. Yeah, American pancakes are classified as a dessert because of the like syrup and stuff, which was very, very silly to me. Like, makes sense. Not saying it's a bad thing. Just like funny to me because, you know, like, what's the word? Anytime I'm saying something's funny, it's just funny because it's like cultural differences, not funny as in like, haha, losers. Um, and then I finally got to go home. The plane ride home was a lot easier than the plane ride there, mostly because I was going home, and also because it was shorter for some reason, which was lovely. What was I going to say? I watched American Psycho on the plane. I did not know that animals died in American Psycho, which you might say, but people die, and yeah, I know that, but I don't know, I just didn't expect it. I also did not expect porn in the movie, but I could have checked. I could have, like, looked it up or something, you know. What was I gonna say? Quick chew-in break. Okay, and quick water break. If y'all have any questions about any of the countries, let me know. What was I gonna say? What else? Oh, I bought a souvenir from each place. Let me find the pictures. Let me see if I have them. I might just show a picture of, like, similar to what they look like. Just because it's so much work to, like, get it on, you know, onto here. Okay, what did I get in Germany? Oh yes, in Berlin, I got a cute stuffed bear that had a shirt that said Berlin. Let's see. Oh, whoa, hello? Okay, sorry. In Karlovy Vary, they had these very pretty mugs everywhere that looked quite different. Let me see if I can find a picture somewhere. Czech Republic mugs. Okay, let me see if it's a Karlovy Vary thing. Karlovy Vary mugs. Okay, here we go. Okay, did not mean to make it like that. Oops. Okay, let's flip. Let me find like a picture to show y'all. Oops. Okay, this works. Oh. Let me move this over. Okay, trying to flip. Like, this is like one of the types of mugs, but they got a bunch of cool, like, different mugs. Let me find another picture to show you. Here we go. This is a better picture. Like, see the different kinds of mugs and stuff? What was I going to say? They had those that were very cool, so I got one for myself to remember it. Then when we went to Austria, I actually I'm pretty sure. Oh no, this was in okay. Then in Austria, I bought one of the very pretty dolls they had. It was at a like what's it called? Not a flea market for that like the money went to a women and children's shelter. Here, let me see if I can find a pic that looks similar. Okay, not this exactly, but like something similar to like this type of doll. What was I gonna say? Except mine's a little cuter. Then when I went to okay, wait. Found the picture. This one's more accurate, I would say. I can post pictures. Then when I went to Hungary, I might have overindulged a little. I just a little bit. I got my grandma an angel. And I wanted to buy so many dolls. What was I gonna say? My mom had gotten me a fan that said Hungary, and I love fans, so this was very cool. But I also wanted a doll because they were so pretty, so I have 2 souvenirs from there. Let me find a picture of the doll I have so I can find a picture that's... I could just go out and grab her, but I know for a fact I have a picture, so I'm wondering where it is. I guess I didn't take a picture. Okay, well, let me... Hungary doll. They sold a lot of different ones that I wanted, but yes, I got like one very similar to this one. Very pretty, and I loved it so much. They also had little girls' clothing and little boys' clothing that was so cute. Mostly like little girls' dresses and stuff. And it made me want a child just to get them that. Or like a child in my life that I know. Like a, I don't know, like a niece or a nephew or something like that. I think that's all. Well, I have enjoyed yapping with y'all, and if y'all have any questions, let me know. But sadly, I might end stream here, because this is my first stream back, and I'm building up stamina, you know? Tomorrow I'll be, collabing with a